Hey everyone, today I want to talk about probably one of the most common and important accessories for anyone that owns or is looking to purchase a lift, and that's one of these upright oil drains. When I purchased my lift about a year ago and I started looking at lift accessories, one of the most common and popular items I came across were these upright oil drains. Doing fluid exchanges on vehicles is probably the most common maintenance items, whether you're talking about changing out engine oil, transmission fluid, differentials, transfer cases. That's a very common maintenance item that has to be done on a regular basis. And to have a lift and to be able to do that while you're standing on your feet is much more comfortable and much easier than it is laying on your back or being underneath jack stands on the ground. Now, in order to do those fluid exchanges underneath the lift, I needed some sort of upright oil drain, because trying to do that with a traditional drain pan, it's not really easy to prop those up to be high enough where they can successfully catch all the oil. And if you are able to prop them up, you run the risk of knocking them over and spilling potentially gallons of oil all over your garage, which is going to make a tremendous mess. So something like this makes the job really, really easy. Now, since I'm using this residentially, I decided to go with a much more basic upright oil drain like this. A lot of different companies make these, and there are much more professional and commercial elaborate versions available. Some of them you can actually hook up your air compressor to as either oil extractors or oil evacuators. Oil evacuators, basically that means that you can pressurize the tank itself where the oil is stored out into a hose, and then you can run that into a waste oil container. Oil extractors, where you can also hook them up to a compressor and they will negatively pressurize the system, where they can actually pull oil out of things like differentials and transfer cases, which is really going to be used in a much more commercial setting, or if you really have some sort of unique vehicle that you might be working on. But this is perfect for residential use. It's really basic and it's not too expensive. This is the one specifically from OEM Tools. This is probably their most basic version. This is their 9-gallon version. As it sits right now, it's about 62 inches tall, and if I can collapse this down all the way, typically when I'm not using it and I have it stored in my cabinet in the back, it's about 31 inches tall. Top here is about 16.5 inches, the diameter of the upper funnel here. The tubes are made out of aluminum. You have a little storage tray here where you want to store a rag, a wrench, basically something to put some items you might be using for the project you're doing. It's obviously very easy to adjust. It just uses a clamp like a barbell would at a gym, and then it has a wing knob on the bottom. This does not have any hookups for any compressor, since this is a really basic unit. And like I said, it's a 9-gallon capacity, which is 36 quarts. So when I typically drain this, I'll take all the piping off, and then I will undo the cap there and just manually pour that into my waste oil container. So this makes, obviously, working underneath the car such a pleasure compared to being on the ground. I used this in the spring when I did the oil change on my GT350R, and it was absolutely beautiful. Just to be able to set this, let the car drain for a while, and not have to worry about trying to make a mess, try to balance some sort of traditional oil pan. And I just let it sit for a while. When everything drains to the bottom, dump in my waste oil container, really easy. You can usually find these pretty basic ones about $100 to $200, and with the holidays coming up, this is a perfect gift idea for anybody that owns a lift and doesn't have one of these. It makes life so much easier. Since I'll be using this for the Shelbys, I'll be using this for my Corolla or any other friends or family's vehicles that I will be working on in here. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.